Okay, welcome back to Sheltered Pass. We've got the grand final here of the Caesars Challenge. The best of 5 between Ares and Eshwar. Ares here in the red trunks is Persia, the bottom side of the map. Eshwar in the green. Eshwar up 2-0 so far in the series. It looks as though both our players are going to go for an early barracks. So on the wood there. So the hunts this game looking pretty good. They looked pretty good last game. Similar layout. I mean, it's the same map, so I think there might be another hunt there for Ares. Oh no, there's not. It's just a tile set change. Because the hunts are usually on a different patch of grass to everywhere else around them. So as an observer, you got a bit of a heads up as to where they are. I think. Yeah. Oh, things looking pretty even in terms of the hunt layouts. Ares getting a restart because Eshwar had super close, super safe age 2 hunts. I think things are going to be okay this game. So is Ares going to be able to turn the series around, or is Eshwar taking this one 3-0 as well? Pretty decisive semi-final against his brother, Eka. The 3-0 result in that. Ares winning 3-0 over Striker. And both of those guys played in the bronze final just earlier on the stream and had a 3-2 result. I'm not going to spoil it if you didn't watch it. But it goes all the way to 5 games, let's just say that much. Eshwar with a nice safe rear side hunt. Ares also with a nice safe rear side hunt. We're both going to have to move to a more takeable, more raidable position for the next one. But for now, they're probably just going to mass up units. Well, basically slowly working towards age 2. Because it does actually eat up quite a lot of resources, spamming as many spears as far as you can. And eventually, pretty much everyone other than Celts and Persia is going to have to get on the gold in age 1 in order to maintain that age 1 production. Oh, that villager. Oh, Ares, no! Damn. Ares has done it now. He's lost a villager. That's not great for Ares here in game 3. He's already used a restart. So man versus wild, not paying off for Ares here. In fact, he's taking his Spara quite low too. He probably should have just used his scout for all that. Have him tank the damage. That's what they got that huge health pool for. So Eshwar looking to push out. He's up to 9 spears here. Ares only on the 5-6 Spara, and this is not great. He's down a food villager as well. He's actually moved a couple of villagers back on the food to compensate, but Eshwar's going to be in a great spot to just push with everything here. The scout's not going to be great, while the scout for Ares not going to be as strong in terms of damage as a ranged scout would be against a spearman, but both our armies just going side by side here. In fact, Ares is just going to run. I think he's thinking he can just sort of wrap around here at some point, or even try and just harass the villagers, maybe take one of them out, just equalize the villager count. Eshwar's actually down a villager to Ares, even though Ares did lose a villager. I think Eshwar must have got housed there momentarily, because Ares got lost a villager to the boar there. Now Ares going to try and take out a villager, but he's not going to be able to get her. It's quite low, but I have to try and push the wood line now. And just back out completely. Eshwar, oh, is getting out just in time here. Another villager being picked off though. And this one I think Ares will get. So Eshwar getting age 2, Ares age 2 on the way. Just trying to get the healing done. So all the Spara getting cleaned up there, and Eshwar pulling ahead in terms of the population count at the moment. Ares having to back out there, but he's going to lose another Spara. Eshwar just needs the wood for a second town center. So Ares is actually not ahead in terms of ill count. It's even at 22 all. Handsaw coming in for Ares, and he's adding a range now. Even before he adds the second town center. It's an interesting choice, but it is going to mean he can actually take more aggressive engagements here against the Axeman, because otherwise he's fighting Spara versus, or Spear versus Axeman, and neither of them will actually trade well with their counter. Eshwar, a huge number of spears at the moment, and he's able to add a small number of Axemen alongside them, but I think he's going to want to add either a stables or add slingers, and seeing the bowman there for Ares, he's going to know what he needs to make here. This is a nice defensive TC that actually really helps guard that hunt as well. And being a slinger civ rather than a bowman civ, Eshwar, it's going to be harder for him to actually snipe villages with those. They don't do as much damage to units they don't actually counter. Like their base damage isn't as good. Eshwar getting conditioning here. Made good use of it in game 2. Having it earlier than Ares meant he could actually catch Ares trying to raid him. So Eshwar getting hunting dogs now. Ares, he's added a couple of bowmen, but he's not getting any more now. Adding another range. Oh, there we go. And he's adding another range too. Eshwar's really smashing out the slingers though. Already on 2 barracks. We're going to see stables as well as the range here for second range here for Ares. Ares is struggling for the gold though. He needs to actually get this army going. He's only got 4 villages on the gold at the moment, so he probably needs to actually pull 2 of them off wood, if anything, or 2 of them off food. Eshwar, a lot more army at 36 to 37 villages. Eshwar a 3rd barracks, and now adding a 4th barracks, no stables. Sending a good mix of slingers and axemen now. And we'll eventually start adding more spears once he sees the Asabara, or maybe transition to stables, we'll see. But 4 barracks is a pretty big commitment, pretty hungry eco, so he's going to have to get these villagers back onto a hunt or something, or on some berries. Now onto the forward hunt. Eshwar's really saturated this hunt. That's a lot of villagers for a hunt. Generally you don't want more than about 7 or 8, because you can't get more than that around a single deer. Ares housed once again momentarily, but he's actually still got a full queue, so he's actually still training everything through it, so this next house is going to arrive just in time. Eshwar wants to take the fight, but he's going to have to start focusing down Bowman with his slingers here. Not doing a great job of it. Ares is going to be able to defend this. These slingers, not quite able to thin out the front line, and not quite able to thin out the back line there. And so they're caught having to flee. Ares with just enough to hold on there. He's actually going to get quite a bit of value now because he's going to clean up a few of these slingers for free. They're not too expensive though, and Eshwar are going to be able to commit to a number of stables behind this, so he'll be able to get a lot of camels. A scary number of bowmen there for Ares, but he hasn't got a huge amount of spears. So he's going to need to make sure he hits before there's a really big critical mass of either slingers or camels. Well, camels without champion, they're really only useful for the tanking against the bowmen. They're not actually a great counter to them as such. It's once they get camel champ when they get the extra stats, extra health, extra PS armor, and extra bonus versus range when they really become formidable against ranged units. Not really a fully fledged range counter till then. So Ares now with a much bigger population, so that bowman spam of Persia, really solid. Ares is just going to start trying to take down structures that are actually worth value here, so he can kill this. Eshwar needs to replace it to actually, you know, fight him. So Ares trying to raid in the meanwhile. It's working quite well. He's going to get 3 villages for his troubles. Maybe even a 4th here. Oh, nope, pulling out. Maybe able to save everything. Just needs that last couple of houses. He's up in terms of army size and eco at the moment. Eshwar on 55 villages, Ares on 60. Age 3 on the way now. He's going to want to get a shitload of gold or get the stone and wood to go for an immediate age 3 town centre to truly make this worth it. Picking off another villager there and going to get that house. The stables is quite aggressively placed here. And the slingers, even with 30 of them, they're barely tickling the spara there. So scale mail coming in for Eshwar. He's getting a 3rd priestess. I wonder if she's just going to empower this, or if she might be just going to the army to be another healer. So Eshwar could probably use a priestess over here, speeding up these upgrades, giving him the edge over Ares in the fight. So Ares is only just now adding his armory, which will mean he'll be a little bit late on upgrades. Egypt's upgrade really big because it adds both types of armor. It's more expensive than the other upgrades because it essentially combines both armor upgrades in one. And overall it still saves you resources, as well as, you know, saving you the training time or having to get a second armory. Ares going to 2 armories now, and it also means he's got to now pick between getting a quick 3rd town center or getting armory upgrades. He's also struggling for the gold to, you know, get armory or get champion upgrades quickly here. So he's going to get bow champ though. A lot of slingers from Eshwar here. And the armor's going to really help him tank the bowman, I think. Eshwar's pretty close to maxed out going into this fight as well. And yeah, with that armor upgrade, I think he's really able to have his front line last through all that, coupled with the healing. Triple camel production behind this, but he can't afford much else at the moment. Ares, meanwhile, mostly adding to his front line and also adding a handful of Takabara. Getting the stone he needs to get upgrades and get his town center here. Actually, he sent these guys to what? Go gather more gold by the look of it. He probably needed to just send wood gatherers over there and keep up the gold gathering, I'd say. Oh no, here he's getting the 3rd town center. was worried he hadn't got it yet. He's going to want to get enough wood, stone and gold to make sure he can keep these upgrades pumping. Already got a bit of wood banked up. Or is he going to start going for immortals? Got 4 ranges at Ares. 2 stables, 3 barracks, 5 barracks, and 3 stables here for Eshwar. H3's kicked in, now he's getting Axe Champ and Slinger Champion. Really scary army for him at the moment. So 73 vills to 75. Eshwar just now adding his 3rd town centre. There he's not at 180 pop yet, so no aid turn either, so he's not actually getting everything topped up for free here. The camels coming in for Eshwar, but they're not able to get a huge amount done. Ares is just camping in his own base with his army. Nice 3rd town centre spot. Takes a good number of resources there, and it's a good market line spot. You go for a market here, you can pretty much get a full market line. It's nice and defendable. You can only have to half wall in this. Touch of Ra coming in for Eshwar, improving heal and empower. Be big because, yeah, like the healing is great for the combat. Empower is great, speeds everything up even faster. Eshwar getting temper. Ares getting scale mail and temper. So Ares finishing his age 2 upgrades. Eshwar getting the last of his. Ares might want to engage before Eshwar gets that in, because he's going for all his age 3 eco techs now, and Picker's Gloves. He's a little bit slow on that. Eshwar having to make a garrison there. Might be a nice engagement here for Ares. Camel's going to arrive a little bit slow. Yeah, these slingers running out of a front line to protect them here. Then again, so is Ares' Persian army. He really needs to get immortals and more Asabara out at the moment. Sorry guys. Forward watch post builder being sniped. 90 vills to 78 in favour of Ares here. Banking a bit of food at the moment. If you can get that into wood and gold, possibly even stone to keep his age 3 upgrades coming in. Eshwar getting chainmail and balled armor. So that'll be really useful. Both types of armor coming in before Ares has got smelting and broadhead arrows. He's a bit slow on getting the stone gathering here. He's adding a ram too from a fairly defensive spot. No walls yet though, so these camels will be a bit of a pain for Ares. He's going to want to hope to get as much damage done as he can here with his army so forward, because he's not going to have any spears back to ward this off. Oh, here we go. Here's a couple. Eshwar's raid getting a couple of vills. Ares leading in terms of vill count by 10 anyway. So Ares just trying to invite Eshwar in for an engagement now. He's also trying to slow down Eshwar's fortress setup here. So as Egypt, with access to elephants from your forts, yeah, this is probably most likely to go for early fortresses. The ram having to make its way around the archer ball, which is not ideal for Ares. It's not already attacking the town center or the fortress. Ares losing a couple of houses here. Oh, here we go. Eshwar snuck in siege towers. Very cheeky. Taking out a few houses. This will get cleaned up though, but it's forced Ares to come back. Bought Eshwar a lot of time. Didn't actually see that go up at first. So I just noticed that Ares was dropping house space there. But he's recovered really quickly. He's got all his houses back. It'll be an interesting fight here. The Takabara really need to focus down the slingers though for Ares, because with Bowman in the mix, he doesn't trade well ranged for ranged. Very cheeky stuff for Eshwar, and he's going to try to get adding some more siege towers. Able to get that fortress now. That siege tower gonna join the army, but first it's gonna take out this gold storehouse. Eshwar taking a good engagement there against Ares, but now the camels a little bit slow to take the fight, but now that with Champion, they're gonna be really tough unit to deal with for Ares. He's gonna have to get a lot of Spearmen to deal with those, and doing so, you know, puts him under threat of the chariot switch from Eshwar here. Ares being pushed off his gold mine. He's got plenty of resources in the bank at the moment though. He's doing really well to sustain through all this. 101 villages though. He's got a much smaller army pop potential than Eshwar, and he doesn't want to back himself too much into a corner with that. He's driving back Eshwar at that top side, but these camels are going to get a few villages here. Spears really need to join the fight once again. Eshwar just putting together a bit of an army here. In fact, Eshwar's starting to fall behind in terms of score. The 84 vills compared to the 93 of Ares. Even though Ares just lost, you know, nearly 10 villages then. Ares going for 2 markets now. He's able to pick off a bunch of reinforcing units of Eshwar now, so that's quite nice for him. But Eshwar, a few upgrades, catching him up on score, and Ares is now committing to age 4. It might be 3rd time's the charm here for Ares. He might be able to force this into a game 4 and possibly game 5 here. As long as he doesn't throw things away, because it's a big expenditure going to age 4, but Eshwar is a long way off affording it himself. Market transition here for Ares as well. I'm surprised he hasn't actually fielded any Immortals. I know they really only counted the Axemen. A ram falling there for Ares, so that not quite working out for him. A few more elephants now in the mix for Eshwar. He's going to be able to deal a bit of damage to this back line. Maybe kill some of these Takabara, or I don't think there's really any bowmen left at this point. Oh, there is a couple. Ares is actually going to go for a bit of a raid here. And even with the Asabara slowed down to the same speed as the spear, with their champion upgrade, they're actually quite quick. Ares looking to take a fight inside his own base. Just rely on defender's advantage here. Get use of these cataphracts. Trying to find somewhere to raid Eshwar and get a bit of value here. Maybe even interrupt his market eco. He's just starting to get on now. Eshwar now getting the resources he needs for age 4 here, but he also doesn't want to lose this fight because then he's got to try and afford remaxing or going to age 4. Can't really afford to do both. Eshwar trying to snipe villages, not villages, priestesses and chariots there, and he's doing a great job. Eshwar has got a lot here at the moment. Cataphracts now getting on the field. These elephants have been really tanky, really hard to stop. Eshwar pushing Ares over on this side as well. You can take this out. I think this might be it for Ares, because he's got all these army units on top of his production at the moment. Eshwar sending across another war elephant. Not really sending too much else. The rest of it's actually heading over here to take out this town center of Ares. Looks like Ares is actually going to clean this up though. Just Just enough cataphracts and spears in the mix. Takabara and Bowman now free to get some damage off. This TC, I think it's going to fall here. Eshwar still hasn't gone to age 4 yet. He can't really yet afford it. He needs to get more gold at this stage. He's actually going to try pinching Ares gold. Well, what's left of it? There's not much there. Ares actually has markets, so he's got the caravan eco. Ares has to get some value here though. Eshwar pushing really well, able to back off on this flank, fight under his town center and fortress. Well, over here it looks as though he's going to try and prevent Ares from stabilizing. You know, getting a fortress to defend his town center. And cleaning up the market line there. Ares going to want to try and just safe market over to this side now. Ares has got to work quickly to take out the town center and the fortress here. Eshwar also trying to find opportunity here. Actually going to clean up the gold mine here of Ares, who's running really low on gold at the moment. If he can clean this up, this might be it. Going to evacuate the villages, but it's towards other units here. Ares now struggling to find somewhere to gather gold. Maybe he can get back over here. The fortress and town center have gone down, so Eshwar's population capped at the moment. Still stuck in age 3, struggling for a gold of his own. So he's going to have to try and get on top of the gold here. He does have the gold over here to go for as well, but Eshwar currently can't get to either of those gold mines. There's just... Oh, and Ares can even focus down the markets here. He's just got those guys parked over there that he's forgotten about. Bit of a split push going on here. So Eshwar taking out as many farms as he can. Ares, in the meanwhile, just trying to destroy structures and just fight off these war elephants now that are here to defend. Ares is really risking it in terms of food and gold. Eshwar, I think his eco is stabilizing a little bit quicker behind all this. These are very expensive fights for both of our players. Ares cleaning up Eshwar's attack there and still just picking off a few units here and there. Eshwar's eco is in a much better state than Ares is at the moment. He doesn't have any caravans at the moment. Can't really afford much. Eshwar spamming caravans, spamming camels at the moment. Ooh, Ares not finding that. He's forgotten about his guys up at the top here as well. Now he realizes. Might be a bit too little too late with those guys, because now there's a good number of camels. They can clean this up pretty quickly. He's going to get the villager. Ares' food eco starting to get back together. Eshwar still a couple of siege towers just chilling over the back here. Maybe they'll see some play in a minute. So Ares. Oh, Eshwar's camels all getting cleaned up. Ares has got enough here. So Eshwar's going to have to bring his whole army, and in the meanwhile, Eshwar's trying... Ares is trying to clean up down over here. So one of the markets going to fall. I think the other should be okay here. It looks like there's enough of a force from the Egyptian player to clean this up. Cataphracts, expensive units. They're not going to trade too well against camels for long. Eshwar adding a second market. Don't think he needs it at this point. Ares struggling for resources. Probably just needs to sit back and stabilize here. He's down in terms of population. Oh, and Ares... Eshwar once again, those siege towers are just going to go for it. I don't know about focusing down the town center though. I don't think he'll be able to get it. Maybe just sniping all the houses would have been enough here, but Ares does have some wood in the bank. Ares not sure if he wants to go for it or not. Seeing the army coming, he's backing off here. Eshwar, things have settled down for him. He's a bit gold starved. He's going to start getting on these gold mines over to the side here. Adding some more stone. Though at this stage he probably needs more wood, because the stone, he's going to have to spend it alongside wood to get towers or fortresses. Or his fourth town center. Well, he just needs to age up too, so maybe stopping that and getting his gold is the way to go here. But things have settled down a little bit. Ares now seems to be a bit behind. I think through all those skirmishes. Nice raid here from Eshwar. Ares not a huge amount of food in the bank, so if these villages get cleaned up... Ares only 81 villages. Eshwar on 87 at the moment. So through most of the mid-game, Ares had the villager lead and was, you know, taking advantage of having a bigger economy. Cruise missiles, these bloody Takabara throwers, javelins. Eshwar adding another workshop. Trying to clean up this gold mine here. Ares, a lot of food gatherers now. His farming is really kicking off. He just needs to get plough though, but he's struggling for the gold for it. Adding more and more caravans now. Eshwar pushing out. Still just saving up for age 4 now. He should be getting it now. Can't believe he's not. He's got so much stone in the bank. Enough of all resources, but maybe... There we go. He's getting age 4 now. Ares pushing out against him. Ares hasn't really been able to afford age 4 upgrades at this stage. Eshwar hasn't really been able to afford age 4 until now. So where's he getting it? Eshwar trying to go for a fortress here. Keep Ares' army busy over at the side. Ares should be able to clean up just about all these villages though. And he is going to get them all. Oh no. Yeah, he will. Slows down Eshwar a little bit. 73 villages to 88, so Ares now springing back to life. Eshwar going to age 4, but it was a big commitment of resources, so he's not going to be able to afford a huge amount if he does go for the town center, or if he does go for a particular upgrade. But he's got a lot of fortresses around. Well, a couple of fortresses around the map, so it really helps him solidify his position here. Ares maxed out the population. They'd be glad to be at a comfortable 95 villager population. Eshwar only on 77, but he's not even at max pop either, so... Both our players on top of this gold mine over here. Ares he's got enough villages in the bank he can afford to have them take the damage. Because right now they're gathering the resources he needs to spend on an army. Eshwar in the meanwhile, just trying to evaluate what he should defend first. You need a catapult on the mix. This will really help clean up the range ball. Splash damage, really useful. The fact they crush damage as well means that they're not actually having any of their damage reduced by by armor for most units. Ranged units in particular have generally got really poor crush armor. Eshwar struggling for food through all this, but Ares also in the same boat. Battering rams really helping Eshwar clean up Ares' armies here. Just trying to raid as best he can. Shut down gathering around this town centre. Taking out a lot of the farmers, but this push over at the right side is really starting to slow down for Ares, and Eshwar in the meanwhile has been raiding There's gold mine over here. You can delay gold and food gathering here. It's really going to hurt Ares. He's still playing around Bowman this late into the game, which is surprising because Takabara, well, he's still playing around Immortal, Takabara I should say, because getting Immortals would be probably quite useful this far in. Takabara champion, even with that, they don't scale too well against, you know, elephants and against catapults. You're better off with the infantry, I'd say. Immortals just are that little bit tankier, so they're better against, you know, and they're not countered by the camels. They're better against the catapults. Ares is starting to push back a little bit. Cataphracts really tanky. They are technically countered by the camels, but they are extremely tanky late game cavalry. Ares somehow making it work here. He's all maxed out. Still got plenty of resources to burn. Eshwar plenty of gold, but struggling a little bit on the food eco. One of these battering rams is focusing down all the houses. This is really quite nice for Ares. This army over here for Ares not quite able to max out at all. So Eshwar struggling to put together an army here because Ares 200 pop, Eshwar 131. A couple of camels in the back line here, picking off caravans, so it's not great for Ares. Just needs to finish off this fortress. Eshwar, some villagers, possibly going to the gold mine or to repair the fortress, getting cleaned up here. Camel on the loose, just being a bit of a pest here. Ares just cleaning up villages as best he can. Want to really hinder that eco. 74 to 69 is the Vil pop counts in favour of Ares. He's got enough army that he's actually ahead on army pop as well. But this composition of his, I'm not sure if I really like it. I think he does need to get Immortals rather than relying on the Bowman. He'll probably get age 4 upgrades if he can. In fact, Eshwar's armory, which is really in an unsafe spot here, it's getting that double armor Egypt upgrade. These bowmen just, they're going to take out the farm, but they're not the greatest of units against buildings like that. If Ares wants to deal damage, he's going to want to do it soon. Eshwar transitioning back towards chariots. I think Ares might have actually overstayed his welcome here. Now he's bringing in the spears. This is where it's probably going to get a bit tricky for Eshwar, because with so many camels, it's a good army against the ranged and the cataphracts, but not against the spears. Catapult now getting, ooh, a big hit off. That's killing quite a number of those bowmen. Ooh, a couple of units here at the back going to be able to wreak a bit of havoc. That army for Ares, oh, as soon as it falls, it just gets replaced here. But can he afford to sneak in upgrades along with this? It's putting a lot of pressure on Eshwar Ares, but he just can't seem to deal a critical blow here. Ares has just got to get everything together. Not back off for too long here, because Eshwar can still afford to turn this one around here, I think. Ares is just bringing everything together now. Eshwar's trying to go for the siege tower play. If this hits at the right time, it could really throw a spanner in the works here for Ares. So Eshwar up to 190 pop. I don't think he's actually been this high pop at all in the game. Ares is going to want to be extremely careful with trying to stack up his whole army so that it can't be intercepted by the melee, because then it just dies to the catapults. Yeah, this could be really bad for Ares. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, I think Ares is really wasting opportunity here. He probably just needed to keep attacking. Although this is nice here, he'll be able to clean up a lot of these caravans. Ooh, but at the cost of a lot of his bowmen. Eshwar is just chasing with catapults. It's really quite scary for all this ranged. They're very expensive, so if they fall, they're 500 resources each. Although they are going to be able to clean up most of these bowmen. Ares just trying to make things as hectic for Eshwar as possible, and it was working, but Eshwar's really quite gold starved, needs to get more caravans here. Can Ares do it? Can he take it to game 4 here? Eshwar is starting to fall behind on eco. 48 villages to 80. I think Ares realizes this and he's just sniping as much eco as he can. But it also means Eshwar's actually putting together an army that just can't be fought with head on, just given the amount of population it's taking up. Ares is going to have a big eco over Eshwar. Well, but these markets might be in a bit of trouble. The spear finally going to fall there. And now Eshwar has the opportunity to be a big pest to Ares' economy. Siege Tower cleaning up a number of production buildings here before it's taken out by that cataphract. The camels going to kill a number of caravans here. 72 to 43 is the villager count. Caravans being added here from Eshwar. He cleans up a couple of Ares bowmen that are streaming forward there. So neither player's really gotten upgrades for... Oh, here we go. Ares adding more upgrades now. Camels have taken out quite a few of the food gatherers here. 61 villages now for Ares. And he's just going for it. He wants to just try and impinge the market as much as he can here. Bringing everything back. Eshwar's just trying to go for the base race. He knows if he can keep a catapult alive, it shouldn't be a lot of work for him to actually clean up town centers, production buildings. Meanwhile, Ares just trying to minimize the amount of gathering his opponent can get done here. Eshwar, just good control on the camels, keeping them alive. But Eshwar is really bottoming out on resources. He's really only got stone in the bank at the moment. Ares, pretty similar predicament. Not a huge amount of gold or food. But he has enough to just be able to spam bowmen here. They're not very gold expensive, but he wants to stop just streaming bowmen in because they're just getting picked off by the slingers and the catapults here. Eshwar in the meanwhile is finding it really tough, although Ares wants ideally to fight with everything here, not have these guys focusing down buildings. So Eshwar trying to put together what he can, but this is a big melee front line here for Ares, and GG! Ares takes game 3. Holy shit, I'm going to be late to community challenge.